from Swanky 93.3 and the Heat 94.6 brings back the hottest hip-hop radio show live from K.L.P. Entertainment and K.L.P. Studios. It's K.L.P. Aftermath. Morning with your host, K.L.P. Kennedy Lucas.
You know what it is? Put your hands up.
Tune in now on any audio platform.
Go.
Welcome to the K.L.P. Aftermath podcast, kickoff show where real talk meets real energy. I'm your host, Edith Sharp, and we're diving headfirst into the headlines, hot takes, and all things culture, entertainment, and beyond. This is the vibe after the dust settles, where the aftermath is just the beginning. Buckle up, we've got a lot to unpack. Little Brother will hit the road one last time starting on May 24th in Baltimore before wrapping up their final tour on open water in October. Little Brother might be one of the most underappreciated hip-hop groups with a killer discography, and that's if fans don't give them the flowers they deserve. Fortunately, folks hold Fonte and Big Pooh, plus Ninth Wonder, in very high regard, and they will embark on one last ride to celebrate this with fans. The duo announced Curtain Call, the final tour on Monday, April 7th, which will begin on May 24th in Baltimore and end on the Rock the Bells cruise from Miami to the Bahamas in the last week of October. Most of the tour dates, though, are later in the summer. Although you probably know Fonte and Big Pooh best for their amazing 2000s work representing North Carolina hip-hop and alternative melodic rap, Little Brother is still dropping heat now and then. For example, back in September of 2023, they released the Wish Me Well / Glory dual offering, which shows they still have a lot of gas in the tank. Even if this is a bittersweet moment for fans, they are very excited to feel this fire in person. Elsewhere, Fonte wants fans to scrutinize their label releases, whereas 2022 saw a new solo project from Big Pooh. Their career changed a lot over the course of the past 20-plus years, but their resonance and respect within hip-hop has never faded and will never do so. Check out Little Brother's full Curtain Call. The final tour dates below. Usher has caused relationship problems before with his serenades, as Keke Palmer and Darius Jackson know all too well. But not this time. Even the Boondocks knows just how much Usher can drive the girls wild, and things haven't changed much throughout his legendary career. During a London tour stop at the O2 Arena, he went viral once again for his steamy fan interaction with a fan who stared in his eyes with a lustful look and accepted his 2 cherries in sultry fashion. After this made the rounds on social media, reports emerged that the woman's 45-year-old husband had filed for divorce and claimed she has never kissed him in public. Of course, many fans were quick to believe this at first glance, given the Dallas-born superstar's previous serenades. But this time around, there's no foul play. According to an alleged source who reportedly spoke to All Hip Hop, this Usher moment did not actually result in the fan's husband filing for divorce, and this story is completely false. The funny thing is, no one can really confirm or deny this unless the couple speaks out publicly about it and fans catch wind of it. It seems a tad excessive to express such investment in 2 private citizens' relationship. But then again, that's the kind of atmosphere the singer creates with his shows. However, don't get it twisted. Usher has caused relationship drama in the past. He recently appeared as a guest on The Baby. This is Keke Palmer podcast to speak with the multi-hyphenate about many topics, including their interaction at one of his concerts that led to massive drama with Palmer's then partner, Darius Jackson. I cannot be responsible for how people choose to react to my experience as an entertainer, the 46-year-old stated. I'm not trying to do anything that's going to deliberately try and rock anybody's home, Usher said of his intimate performances. This is what I say to myself in the mirror before I go out and hit the stage. I am not here to break up your home. I am here to entertain you, my love. We were having a great time. If you're going to one of his final shows on his Past, Present, Future tour this April and May in Europe, and you're in a relationship, set your healthy boundaries.
You know what time it is. Swanky one. DJ Kennedy Lucas.
Let's go.
Turn me up some.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, oh, y'all know what time it is. Y'all know this one. Brand new K.L.P.
We lit the city with the spark in our eyes.
Hey, brand new K.L.P, man. In your phones right now. Sci-Fi, season.
Whiskey in the glass as the ice collides.
Hey.
A slow motion moment where the vibe don't lie.
Hey.
Let's smoke and sip till the night.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another exciting podcast, man. Shout out to the podcasters, the entrepreneurs, the investors, the hard workers, man. Shout out to y'all. Hey. This that brand new Kennedy Lucas, by the way. That's called Smoke and Sip from my latest album, Soft Guy Season.
Her lipstick's red like a fire.
It's what day is it? Nope. Yeah, Tuesday. I had to remember what day it was. Tuesday, y'all. We got a great show for y'all today. T, I see you, man. Brand new Bro Code podcast and Renee Smith, a new show. One big question. Hey.
Cigar in your hand as we own this town.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, man. Shout out to everybody who watched my show, man. We love it. Hey. Shout out to GGC Athletics, man. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. Shout out to all the entrepreneurs, man, and the scammers. Y'all know who y'all are, but it's okay because it's tough times right now.
Just don't care.
Hey. Cigar in your hey. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we back in the most incredible way. I tell y'all. Shout out to everybody out there in the world, man. My listeners, the fans. Shout out to the artists, the entrepreneurs, the engineers, the producers. And shout out to every other podcasters out there, man. Y'all, we still doing this thing. Little chill vibe, you know. Hey. We got a good show for y'all today. We'll get to it, I promise. We hope that everybody's been enjoying their weeks, man. Pollen is still here. Everybody to the car wash. Not the last couple days. It's been raining the last couple days. We'll get to it. Hey.
A rhythm in my chest, her perfume in the air.
Hey. Shout out to all the actresses and art actors and directors and producers making movies.
The city's quiet heat with a beauty lane.
Shout out to Road. Can't forget about Road.
We just don't care.
Hey. Monica.
Let's smoke and
Shout out to you, Monica.
the night slows down.
Hey, shout out to Crunch Fitness, Crunch and Snellville in particular, but shout out to them. Shout out to EJ at Sleep Number. Oh, I got a story to tell y'all about that.
Your laugh's the soundtrack, my heart spellbound.
Man, I tell y'all, that's a good album. Y'all can't sleep on me, man. I told my barber, he was like, "You make music?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do." Another hidden talent of mine. Hey. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we back in the most incredible way. Welcome to the K.L.P. Aftermath Podcast. I'm your gracious, healthy, fully clothed, blessful, well-spirit, little hungry podcast host K.L.P. Kennedy Lucas here, man. Yeah. Good morning. It's Tuesday the 8th. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the studio of K.L.P. Studios. Welcome back to the podcast. Let me tell y'all, I am so humble and blessed to be here. It is April 8th. We're getting closer to a little bit of the summer month, right? Yeah, you know, I'm turning 29 next month. May is around the corner. We hope that everybody's having a fantastic, and I do mean this, a fantastic week. We hope that everybody is staying blissful and prayed up and just meditating and being healthy. Let me tell y'all, it feels good to be back this week, of course. If you guys missed last night's episode, we uploaded LTN News. Of course, that's our news show that we have. And of course, I'm adding my segment, One Off with K.L.P. within that show. Very, very good show. So you guys, if you missed it last night, Monday night, Go check it out. It is available. Yeah, welcome back to the podcast. We've got some amazing things to talk about. I've got some juicy conversations to talk about as well. I do have two, not one, but two video game reviews for this day, for this episode, in lieu of, normally I like to do an anime review on each episode. I haven't watched any new anime lately. I've been watching the same ones that I've done my review on already. So that's kind of where we at with it. You know, I can only watch so many anime shows at one time so I can keep up. But before we get to the announcements and the things that we want to talk about here today, we hope that you guys have made it to where you guys are able to leave your voice recorded message. And I want to go ahead and, while I talk about it, get it loaded up here to see if anybody chimed into it. I know we're still kind of early with it. What it does, a partnership with SpeakPipe, it is a voice recording message to where you can leave your voice recorded message to a question. If you want to do a shout out on the show, we like to do that as well. Being that it's still new, it looks like we don't have any recordings quite just yet, but it's okay. We still early, you know. It's no shame on it. We still early. It's still kind of new, but SpeakPipe will have in the link description below. You guys can record your message on that application, and then we get it here in the studio, and we'll play it live for the show as well. And before we talk about my crazy couple days so far, Evelyn, Letitia, and I will be back in the studio with What Happened Was podcast this Friday. We look forward to that. So let me tell you about my week. This past weekend, I like to talk about it, and I'm talking about it on the show because I want them to know that I'm still interested in doing this project. Now, if you guys don't know, K.L.P Entertainment, and myself included, we do some work with GDC Athletics. This past week was baseball. Very, very long day on Saturday. But it felt good to be back in the building, being a producer and helping the students put on the best broadcast ever. I really love doing that. Shout out to GGC. I would love to do a podcast over there at GGC Athletics, simply because I love giving back to my community first and foremost. And I think it would be very, very fantastic if we bring the shows to GGC Athletics. So that was my weekend. You know, it was very, very blissful weekend to do that and to catch up with some people and to really produce a great show over there at their YouTube channel and their content creating. And speaking of GGC, you guys are getting the first exclusive hearing there. I will be speaking at the SBA Marketing Club. Their meet this month. I will be speaking to quite a few students there at GGC. One of my professors, shout out to you, Dr. Charlotte. She was one of my professors from one of my classes, and she reached out to me on LinkedIn. By the way, you guys can follow me on LinkedIn at Kennedy Lucas MBA, by the way. She reached out to me on LinkedIn and said, hey, Kennedy, you know, you're doing your thing. You're filming movies. You're doing a podcast. You're a DJ. You're doing all these things. Will you have time to come up here, come up to Gwinnett County to talk to the young students of GGC? I said yes, without hesitation. I always love to give back to my community when I can. And that's just something that I love to do. So I look forward to that. I'm going to post. She said there's going to be a flyer. There's going to be a poster. They're going to put it on a website. I can't wait to shout that out on my social medias. Like I say, I do say to a lot of people, if you graduate from college and you're able to give back to your college, be sure to give back to that college, because you never know how far that's going to go, guys. You never know how far it's going to be. It's going to make wonders for that community as well. So we hope that you guys like it. The students that go there, and a lot of people, if you give back, have an opportunity to give back to your community, be able to do that, because that is quite amazing. And then Sunday, I was supposed to go to church, but Atlanta, we received a tornado watch here in Atlanta this past Sunday, so we weren't able to do that. And then yesterday, you know, it was a regular business day. But I wanted to shout out. I like to tell my stories here on the show before I get to the nitty and gritty of the show. Shout out to Sleep Number. Not really a sponsor, but this is kind of the basic topic of conversation on the podcast, because let me tell you, if you guys don't know about me, sleep is very, very important. Like I mentioned, I'm turning 29 next month, and I love my sleep. I get cranky if I don't get enough sleep, and if I miss out on my sleep, I'm going to get cranky. There's nothing that matters more than my films and my media and my podcasts and my family, but to be able to get some good quality sleep, right? I think everybody should understand to not stay up so late. I'm starting to understand. I'm starting to make sure I don't watch my phone when I'm in the bed, because we all do. We lay curled up in the bed. We got the phone right here. We watching videos on TikTok and Facebook, and knowing damn well it's past 12 o'clock. I need to take my happy ass to bed, but I'm still on the phone watching videos. So I'm learning to not do that, because that will affect your effectiveness of sleeping. If you guys, I think I've reviewed those products here on the show before. I use a Therabody. Therabody's a good company, by the way. Shout out to them. But I was able to buy the Therabody massage mask. You put it over your eyelids and it massages your eye lobes and your around your eyes for about 10, 20 minutes. And then I have the Therabody sleep mask, to where it clicks on, it vibrates as I'm getting ready to fall fast asleep, and then it shuts off, and then I'm knocked out. Next thing I know, it's by 11 o'clock in the morning, I'm getting up in the morning. If not, maybe early, to get here in the studio to do a show. So everybody knows I've been trying to perfect my sleep pattern, my sleep habits. I think as you get older, sleep is very, very important. And it's a health thing for me. I've had it to where back in the past, not lately, but back in the past, I had troubles sleeping. It's not so much of insomnia, but it's just trying to fall asleep, because my mind is running at 100 miles per hour. So I'm trying to find my way to sleep. And when I try to find my way to sleep, it's hard for me to sleep. I'm waking up in the middle of the night thinking about stuff, and I'm not getting good, effective sleep. That's why I bought the Therabody, because my doctor said, hey, we know what the problem is, Kennedy. You are stressing out a lot. Even the last year, around this time last year, maybe January, February of 2024, obviously I was stressed. You guys know why I was stressed. I won't dabble into that story, but I was stressed out of my mind. But now I've been less stressed because of Therapody. But I would wake up the last few days. I've been waking up where I would knock out, but I would wake up hurting. My neck, my back hurt. And I used to think, okay, I'm working out. I'm doing exercises that I don't normally do, so maybe I'm sore. No. My pillow, I touched it, flat as a pancake. So then I said to myself, okay, yeah, I think it's time to go and get a new pillow. But I didn't want to go to, obviously, none of us is going to Target right now because they're boycotting, right? Walmart, Kroger, they sell pillows, but they're $10. And you're not going to give that much usage out of those pillows, because they will be flat and you're not getting good, effective sleep. So long and behold, I said, okay, I need a premium pillow, right? Finding that premium pillow is very, very important. And I end up going to Sleep Number. Obviously, there's quite a few pillow stores out there, but I went to Sleep Number, and I gave a shout out to EJ, right? Her name is Erin Joyce. Shout out to you that works at Sleep Number. I like to give my shout outs when I have good customer service. This is something I do as a podcaster. Such a sweet girl. I had to make sure I didn't flirt too much, because she did mention her boyfriend a whole hell of a lot. And when she said, yeah, my boyfriend, I was like, hey, I get it. You got a boyfriend. I'm not flirting with you. I'm just trying to, I want to get your advice on a nice pillow, right? Boy, howdy, she was cute though. I ain't gonna lie. I couldn't tell her that, y'all, in the store, because she's working. That's inappropriate. But she was cute. I was rocking with it. I was so rocking with it, because she's very knowledgeable about her pillows and her bed. She's a good saleswoman. She sold me on some stuff. I spent some money on a pillow. And again, when I say this next segment, it's not to brag and say, hee ha, look what I got. That's not what I'm doing. But when it comes down to it, EJ, very, very nice. Very, very sweet girl. I came into the store right after the gym, so I'm pumped. You know, you guys know I've been getting a little more and more swole now, so I'm a little bit more pumped, more big than usual, right? I'm doing my thing. And I'm looking around, I'm looking for some pillows. And these pillows were premium, right? These pillows were not $10, right? But in my mind, I said, okay, I need to invest in a good pillow. And there's a PSA moral of this story at the end of the story, right? So EJ, she's showing me some pillows. I bought a nice foam curve pillow, which I didn't even think they made those, but it was like a nice little. It's like this, and then a curl, right? Like a curve at the bottom. And she was selling this pillow onto me because it was just like the quarters are supposed to lay on top of my shoulders. So when you sleep, it's resting within your neck and then you're getting more effective sleep. Memory foam. I said, okay, dope. I might buy this one. Then she showed me another pillow. Oh boy, howdy. She's selling it to me, y'all. She's selling me some pillows. She showed me another kind of memory foam, but a little bit thicker, more square, poofier. I tried it because at Sleep Number they got like a little test bed that you lay down on and then you do your thing. So I laid down on it. I said, ooh, this pillow is really nice too. And I was torn. I was so torn because it's like I can get both. But I want to be responsible too. EJ says, hey, I'll cut you a deal. You get both pillows, you can get a sane discount. Not and for Sleep Number, who if they're watching, she didn't cheat this, so she gave the store's discount. This is what the store's advertising. I just didn't want to say that she gave me a sane steal on the pillow and then she get in trouble. That's not what I'm saying. The store had a discount, so whereas buy one, get one half off, and they discounted it. And the discount was pretty good. So she ringed that up. She said, this is the total. I won't name the total because I don't do that on this show. But she gave me the total. I said, oh, that's pretty good. So then I got to thinking like, I'm trying to perfect my sleep. Do you guys have any pillowcases? Oh boy, howdy. EJ, she needs a raise because she showed me these really nice pillowcases that they're like like it cools itself, right? It's very, very cool. It's very cold. Now, if you guys don't, I don't think I said this to you in the audience. I'm a hot-tempered person, not in anger, but like I get very hot quickly. That's the one thing in our house. We try to make sure that we keep the house at a cool degree because I sweat and I get hot. And when I get hot, I get annoyed. So I felt up on the covers or the pillow casings, and the casings they're very cool. So once you put it on, you sleep on, the air comes in and cools your body down as you sleep. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna have to you can't get one. I got two pillows, so I gotta get two of them. Discount on those pillowcases. Great. And then I started looking at the wall. You know what they had on the wall? They had a $30 speaker, but you download the app and it makes white noise. I like noise. I like white noise when I get ready for bed. I like white noise when I'm working or doing something. So I can say, and with the speaker I got, it's at the house. I can move it around. I'm going to move it to the office and then I move it to my bedroom when I get ready for sleep. She said, hey, it's $30. It might help you with better effective sleepiness. I'm like, all right, ring that up. Now, after they ringed all this stuff up, it was a good price. It was a very good price for the two pillows, the casings, and the speaker. I won't name the name of the price because we ain't gonna do that. But it was really good. It was very, very good. I really, really enjoyed their customer service. The moral of this story, guys, yes, pillows and sheets and covers. And me and EJ, while she was ringing me, we had a good conversation about making sure that you clean your sheets. And I say that this is the moral of the story. I say to a lot of people, make sure you wash your sheets. Let me tell you, and I told EJ the story. I've been to a lot of girlfriends' houses where the sheets smell like shit. Like it smelled. Their pillow smelled, and it felt very uncomfortable. It felt itchy, right? I'm like, baby, when's the last time you washed these sheets? Right? So I say to a lot of people, For me, I wash my sheets every 2 weeks. Right? I wash my sheets every 2 weeks, and every month or so, just depending on timing, I get rid of the sheets and buy new sheets. Right? You can buy some people, I get it. Some people buy the more expensive sheets. I go for the medium pricing sheets. I don't go for the super cheap sheets, but I'm not going to spend $200 on some bed sheets. I'm just not going to do it. But I'm going to pay a good price for some sheets. At the store, they had the pillowcases. They had nice silk cases, but it is true. Silk does get hot quickly. And she said, hey, it's a pretty color, but silk does get hot. If you're hot tempered, this may not be the pillowcase for you particular. I said, yes, because I don't want to sweat when I'm sleeping. Not going to do it. So I say that to everybody. Please wash them sheets when you can, because it is so important to wash your sheets. Wash your pillowcases. She told me that she had a customer one time that came in looking for a new pillow, and he said to her, he had the pillow, his last pillow he had for 20 years. Let me tell you, if you have a pillow for 20 years, and it's not a decorative pillow that you just decorate your bed with, you nasty. You nasty. You're gross. You one nasty mother. You're nasty. So I do say to a lot of people, wash your sheets. I also do say to a lot of grown-ups, yes, it's premium. I get it. With the way the world is today, things are expensive. But it is a nice investment to invest in a good pillow. If it's going to cost you a premium cost, y'all know what I'm talking about. If it costs premium, then you're getting premium service. Because let me tell you, this was yesterday when I went. Last night, I slept like an angel. I got to say, that's one of the best sleeps I've had. Right? I say to a lot of grown folks, y'all, perfect your sleep. If you've got the money to buy a premium pillow, buy a premium pillow. Because EJ told me at the Sleep Number store, she said, hey, this is a pillow you're going to have for a while. Because she saw, like, people never return, like, and they had a good thing, too. Like, if you go to Sleep Number and you buy a pillow, you got 100 days to sleep on it. And if you just, for some reason, you don't like it, you can return it and exchange it for another pillow, and you get your money back within 100 days. Dope. That's a dope deal. Right? Doesn't matter if it was staying, and I sounded like an ad for Sleep Number, but I'm not an ad for Sleep Number. But if you sleep on it, you stain it, it smells funny, you can still return it. And the one thing I prod, again, I'm not an ad for Sleep Number, but this is what they said, if you return it and it's not gross, like if it's not a science experiment on the pillow, if it's just fine, they donate it to the homelessness. I thought that was a very, very good thing. We are here in Atlanta. We see a lot of homelessness here in Atlanta alone. So I get it. That's such a nice thing for Sleep Number, the company, to do. They don't just pitch it. They don't just throw it out. But I do say to a lot of people, yes, invest in your sleep. Invest in a nice pillow. Invest in some nice sheets. I used to buy nice comforters. Look, comforters look nice, but I don't sleep in a comforter. Comforters are hot. I'm hot tempered when I sleep. I cannot sleep with all that stuff on me trying to sleep because I sweat and I got to just pull it off me. I'm sweating. I can't do it. But my sleeping arrangement, how my bed looks, is different than a lot of people. A lot of people love the comforter look. If it works for you, it works for you. For me, comforters are hot, very, very hot when I try to sleep. So that's why I don't sleep with them. But I do say, again, folks, invest in some good sleeping habits. Yes, it's premium, but I'm able to get the good quality sleep that I need. So, hey, I love it. Shout out Sleep Number. And I say to a lot of people, as you guys just saw, make sure you stay hydrated too, because hydration helps with your sleeping too. Believe it or not, when you're well hydrated, you're able to sleep well. And when you're well hydrated, you're able to sleep well, you're able to function well. One thing I noticed too, and this is a segue to the first game review, I always got to stay hydrated when I play my MetaQuest. Now, if you guys don't know, in the studio, we got the MetaQuest in. The MetaQuest 3S is what it's called. And yeah, we bought a new game that I wanted to try. If you guys don't know, I'm big into my RPG. I love the RPG look. I love the gameplay style of it. I gotta say, I want to say 2019 is when I first kind of started getting into RPG, and then I really got into it. So they got this game out. It's called Triangle Strategy. It's an older game, but they released it a few years back for the Quest system, and of course, it was $30, so it was on sale, kind of. And we bought it, we played it for the MetaQuest, and I just wanted to do my review on it so far. I just started to play it, and it's really, really cool. So if you guys don't know, Triangle Strategy is from Square Enix. Square Enix is pretty dope at the RPG. You've got the likes of Final Fantasy. You got the likes of Octopath Traveler 1 and 2. You've got the likes of, I want to say, Live Alive. I think Square Enix did that one too. So it's very, very good in the RPG world. Triangle Strategy is the one that's only available for the Quest. And let me tell you something unique about this game and being in VR and playing it in VR is when you're okay, so when you're in battle mode, right? It's a turn-based game, if you know what I mean. It's turn-based game. So they take turns within their attacks. You're moving your people around. It's really, really cool for VR because when I put on my VR and played it, you get to where you can do a pass-through mode where you get the scroll. There's like a scroll that scrolls out, and then it has your cutscenes, and then you can see your surrounding environment. Or you can fully immerse where you have the scroll and then you have the land around you, and it's really nice. You're in that virtual reality. And what was cool about it is you get to be physically, what it feels like to me, you're physically in the game, right? When I was in the game, Triangle Strategy, again, if you guys don't know what game I'm talking about, you might have to Google it because it's kind of hard for me to. I'm gonna try to explain it. You're playing these different characters and you're running a kingdom, and then the main character is getting married to one girl that's part of the team that can fight, and it's a whole story progression. I really love this game because this game is 40 hours. I love a game that gives me so much hours of gameplay, and that's something that VR games they're starting to get into to give us a full length game. There are a lot of games out there for VR that are like 2 hours long, 3 hours long. So I don't really like to buy those type of games if it's 2, 3 hours long because you play it, you might enjoy it for the first 2 hours and 3 hours, then you're done, then you don't play it again, right? Triangle Strategy is a game that I might play multiple times because I might do my strategy a little bit different, right? So you're playing the main characters, and then you're going around and you're running a kingdom, and it's just kind of like medieval. It's like medieval meets House of Dragons kind of storyline. So it was really, really cool. The voice acting for all characters are really, really good. But within this turn-based game in VR, we're talking about the MetaQuest for Triangle Strategy. It's really, really cool. You're playing these characters on your map. And of course, you get to pick up your character with your VR controllers. I think they perfected to where you can use your hands because the MetaQuest 3S, you can use your hands in some of the features. I just continue to use controllers because that's just kind of where I'm accustomed to. But I'm able to really look at my character right in front of my face, like they're just sitting right here. And I'm able to move these characters and to understand the turn-based strategy and play the RPG game. And they have some voice work, some cutscenes, some voice work cutscenes within gameplay. So that's really, really cool. You have this big VR map of whatever map you're on, a snow mountain or the village, and you're fighting, and it's right there in front of your face. You can move the board around. It's almost like playing chess or checkers. Almost, right? Because that's technically what a turn-based game is you're picking your character, and you got to put it in these square within your path, and you got to choose the right strategy, the right attacks, the right moments. You got to watch your XP and your SP, right? You got to make sure your characters are healthy. So it's almost like playing chess, right? But in VR. And it's an action-based RPG role-playing Japanese type game. And then you're able to make moves and do all these things and move your board around. One thing I'm starting to learn about my VR experience, it's good to stand up and play VR. I say if you're going to stand up and play VR, have a fan blowing on you and drink plenty of water because you will get winded. I've started to play my VR game sitting down, make sure I'm fully hydrated, maybe a fan blowing on me so I don't get too hot, because VR is an experience. Um, it is an experience where you will get winded, you will get dizzy, you will get motion sickness on certain type of games. I remember when I first got it, I bought a Star Wars game, and I don't think I'm ever going to play that game ever really again because every time I try to play the game, I get motion sickness. Now, besides that, another game that I've been playing is Batman Arkham Shadows. That's the Batman VR game. I've never had motion sickness so far with it. Now the first go around I did because it was like when I first played it and first tried the VR, I'm like, okay, hold on, I'm getting a little sick. Let me not be doing because with Batman game you got to punch and kick. Well, not kick, but you got to punch and do all these. I was like, I need to sit down and play this because I'm gonna get motion sickness. But with that game, no motion sickness. I played the Iron Man VR game. Never got motion sickness of that game. That's actually one of my favorites. I didn't like Chapter 9, Rock Bottom, where Ghost, the villain, comes at you. Like, I don't like games that come at me spooky like that. That freaked me out. I got through that mission and beat the game. I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna play that level again. That level spooked me out. I don't like. That's why you're never gonna have me buy a VR horror game or a zombie game or Resident Evil game in VR. I don't like spooky games in VR. That's gonna cause me nightmares. But with Triangle Strategy, the game I'm reviewing, it's really good. It feels like you're playing chess. It feels like you're having a great time. And you get to move your board around and to really see these characters interact and play with these characters. And I play the game for about 2 hours. So that's pretty good. I do say to a lot of people, because I don't think I said this to you in the VR review, but if you buy a VR headset, whether it's PlayStation or Meta, I would say buy a game where you have the game. When you buy a game, it tells you the intensity, where it's you have comfort, moderate, or intense. I think I'm starting to make sure that I buy games in the comfort level because I don't know if Iron Man was comfort level or not, but it was Iron Man, Moss 1 and 2, Moss 1 and 2. That's the mouse game that, they were on sale, so I got that too. Moss game 1 and 2, they're on the comfort level, and Triangle Strategy, the level was on comfort. And those games I've never received motion sickness at all. So I say to a lot of people, if you're prone to get motion sickness, only buy games where when you buy on the list, it says comfort, buy those games. You're not going to have motion sickness because I've never had it. The intense games, because they make games for the intense, you going to get all kinds of sick. And I just rather not. But like I say, Triangle Strategy is really, really good. Progressing the story so far. If you're into RPG, I would say this. If you're into RPG and you want something different and you want to play an RPG in VR, Triangle Strategy is really, really good. For what it is, it's really, really good. 40 hours of gameplay. There's a lot of dialogue. I will say that. It's a lot of dialogue. But I kind of don't mind it because I like a good story. But I like to get into the action too, right? I think Triangle Strategy, along with Octopath Traveler, because they're the same, Square Enix, they're both, and they're resembling each other. It's just different name, different story, right? But they're about the same. Same artwork, I would say. You're gonna have some fun playing it, and it's just a relaxed moment. It's strategy. I probably will try, and I've tried it both where I'm fully immersed in VR, and then they have the pass-through mode where you just have the board and then the scroll, but then you're able to see your remaining surroundings. So maybe that might be something that I look forward into when it comes down to it. And for the second game review, people have been playing this game, and it's really good. It's called now I'm starting to get into Bleach. Now this game called Bleach Resouls that came out last month from Bandai Namco. Obviously, you're playing Ichigo Kurosaki, and he was your typical teenage boy going to school, being your average guy. But then he gets invaded by a Soul Reaper. She gets hurt, and he engulfs the Soul Reaper powers into him, and he becomes the temporary Soul Reaper, and he goes around the city to save the town from the Hollows and the Ghost Reaper people. Very, very dope. Love it. I played it. I like the comeback. I like the comeback in it. I love The story mode is pretty good. It gets you into it. I like the music. Let me tell you, that music is the music within this game is a slap, right? I might just download this. If it has it on Spotify, I might just download the soundtrack. The music is really, 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 really dope. Um, Combat 2-player mode is pretty good as well. Very, very good game to play. It's like your typical Bandai Namco game with better combat. The graphics are pretty good. Story mode's really, really good. I like the concept of it. Yeah, that was pretty much it with the Bleach game. I mean, there's not too much within that game that I got to review. It is a premium price, so I would say for this game, you can wait until it goes on sale. I don't think this is a game that is worthy of your $70. Well, it might be $60 now, actually. It may not be worthy of your $70 per se, but you might have it to where you might like it. You might like it towards the end, right? So, like I say, very, very good. Now, the last topic of conversation that I wanted to talk about here on the show is WWE. WWE. Now, I wanted to, let me get my Instagram loaded and booted up here. So, as we all know, WWE season is around, or excuse me, WrestleMania season is around the corner. And there's been some things from Friday Night SmackDown, and the thing I can do to integrate it here as well. We can talk about what happened within Friday Night SmackDown, and next podcast we're going to talk about Monday Night Raw, because I still got to write my notes for it. But things are exciting. Things are exciting for this. I wanted to play something real quick. First and foremost, this segment here.
She was begging, and I'm the gift that keeps giving. She wanted a moment, and I hadn't done any charity work lately.
Shout out to Charlotte Flair, man.
Every week, that desperation leads.
So the segment is Charlotte Flair versus Tiffany Stratton. That's what we're going to see at WrestleMania. And their segment was really good, but it feels like it hit close to home. Let me tell you why. And I'm playing these segments here.
The saddest part about all of this is no matter how many titles you win, you could break all
Tiffany
the records,
Stratton.
but when
Oh
it's
my
all
God.
said and done, you'll always come second to your daddy, Ric Flair.
I bet you won't hear that, man.
And at WrestleMania, you're gonna come second to me, Tiffany Stratton.
So I'm playing these
And for
segments.
16 more days, you get to call yourself WWE's least favorite Nepo baby. Congratulations!
I bet you won't hear that, man.
Nepo Queen. Number one Nepo baby.
So again, oh man, it's going down. And they didn't play a certain, I don't think they have it on their Instagram, but they mentioned, let's see here, I'm going through here. Yeah, I don't think I see it. This segment was cool, but I think it kind of went personal. And I don't know if it's part of the storyline or not. So, Nepo baby, that's nepotism because Ric Flair has been in wrestling for years, obviously. And what Nepo is, hey, we're throwing my kid into this, and hey, they got the free ride to come to this company and work. It's the same thing that people might say about Bronny James being a Nepo baby because of LeBron James, right? You got thrown into the industry and it was given to you, and you never really had to work really hard for it, right? That's what nepotism means in a certain extent. But Charlotte Flair was on Sherry Shepherd's show. And I think they cut the segment to where Tiffany Stratton says, you'll be alone again after I win. Make that third time alone. And I felt like that was personal because Charlotte Flair has been engaged twice. Right? She's been married and engaged first. And then the second time was with Andrade. That was the latest news that Andrade and Charlotte Flair, they broke up. They got a divorce. Very, very sad for Charlotte Flair. If I was Andrade, I wouldn't have not messed that up, honestly. If it was his fault, I ain't accusing him being his fault. I wouldn't have break that up. I wouldn't. So she says that on the Sherry Shepherd show, and she's been very vocal about it. It's been kind of hard for her. Divorce is always hard on somebody. So that's why Tiffany Stratton say, "Oh, you're gonna be alone for the third time," right? Because that's kind of like, hey, the third time, because you've been divorced twice. She scrolls out the ring. That's harsh. That's harsh. That's a little rough. I don't know if WWE should have took it there. I get it. You're trying to sell the story. I get it, but that's a little rough. Divorce is hard, right? She was already sad about it. And then when she strolls out the ring, Charlotte Flair say, "Oh, he's been in my DMs. He's been in my DMs." She's talking about Ludwig Kaiser. If you guys don't know, Tiffany Stratton and Ludwig Kaiser, they're dating. So, look, it's getting messy. It's getting messy. I guess it's because they're selling the story and it works. But boy, howdy, I don't know. That's tough. That is very, very, very tough. That's a tough pill to swallow. I hope it's part of the storyline. I look forward to it. WrestleMania, I want to say it's coming close. I think it's like next week, I think, if my calendar is right. So WrestleMania is around the corner, and I can't wait to watch it. And after that, give you guys a podcast review. We're probably going to just do a podcast special just to talk about WrestleMania. But that's going to be very, very exciting. Of course, they were SmackDown. They were in Chicago. I've been to Chicago, so I know about it. CM Punk is there, obviously. Paul Heyman's going to be at CM Punk's corner. That's his favorite, to be at CM Punk's corner at WrestleMania. That's going to be really, really, really funny to see. I love it. I'm here for it. You got Cody Rhodes and John Cena kind of tag teaming on both shows, kind of, and they're doing their thing that way for SmackDown as well. SmackDown's good. SmackDown's getting good. I wish SmackDown came to Netflix so that way we can watch it. But hey, USA Network, they got that contract going. I do hope that Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton, that they have that. I hope that's part of the story, because that does hit too close to home. It's a little too soon, and it's a little harsh. But we'll see. We'll see what happens next week. Like I say, stay tuned later on within the week. We're going to talk about Monday Night Raw from Netflix, because I'm still writing notes for that, so we're not ready to kind of review that here on the show. But that's going to wrap it up here on our show. T, it's been a pleasure. Guys, notice at the beginning of the show, we did a pre-show. Edith Sharp, she was part of our pre-show for K.L.P. Aftermath, so we hope y'all like that. Give us a little extra for the podcast before the actual main course. That's going to wrap it up here on the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Please, if you're watching on YouTube, Facebook Watch, and Spotify video, thank you so very much. If you're listening to us on any other platforms you get your podcast from, thank you guys so much. Share with your friends so that way you guys don't miss the latest episodes from us here in the studio. This has been the K.L.P. Aftermath with your boy, the humble one, the swanky one, K.L.P. Kennedy Lucas. We'll catch y'all in the next episode of the podcast. Until then, stay safe, stay swanky. Peace.
Go! What's going on in Hot Atlanta? Live from Swanky 93.3 and the Heat 94.6 brings back the hottest hip-hop radio show live from K.L.P. Entertainment and K.L.P. Studios. It's K.L.P. Aftermath. Morning with your host, K.L.P. Kennedy Lucas.
You know what it is? Put your hands up.
Tune in now on any audio platform.
Go.